Hey, hi. Welcome to the Shamans Tea. Hey, everybody. Hi, Mia.
Hi, darlings.
Just as we know, the sacred weed whackers have started. Can you hear them? You hear them in my background?
I'm actually hearing my own lawnmower in the back. Well, the neighbor mowing is
The sacred weed whackers are here.
getting ready for the big planting here.
So we want to welcome you to the Shamans Tea, and we're going to go ahead and open up sacred space. Usually Mia and I open sacred space before we hit record, but due to the messages that are coming in that we want to share, we thought we'd go ahead and open up sacred space together, she and I, with you, so that you could be in that sacred space with us, and understanding these layers of protection that we actually lay down. And so we'll go ahead and open up sacred space today so you can find yourself in your heart space, taking a nice deep breath in and just connecting into the sacredness of these words, of this energy that we are laying down for us all today. All right, ready, darling?
Ready.
Okay, here we go. To the winds of the south, Sacha Mama, Sacha Mama, Sacha Mama, we ask you to come to our medicine space today. We ask you to come to the Shaman's Tea and wrap your coils of light around us, bringing us together in the ethers today, that we may share these deep and beautiful messages, that we are open and clear to receive, that we shed all those things that no longer serve our highest good, so that we may be that divine message today. And for this, we are so grateful. And in that south direction, we are calling on Archangel Raphael, Raphael, Raphael. Archangel Raphael, we are asking you here today for healing and a wholeness. We are healing, ever healing in every step that we take. On that physical level, on that emotional level, and on that spiritual level. And for this, we are so, so grateful. Aho.
Would you continue? Would you continue?
Okay.
I want your pattern going. Yeah.
Huh?
I want your pattern with your, yeah.
Got you. So in the winds of the west, we call on our Otarango, Otarango, Otarango. Brother, sister, jaguar, that great cat medicine. We are calling you in to pace that medicine space, to keep that safe and sacred container for us as we dive into the Shaman's Tea today. We are asking you to take us over that rainbow bridge into the place of integrity and impeccability, that we leave all fear behind and step into that luminous warrior of love and light. And for this, we are so grateful. And in the West, we are also calling on Archangel Michael, Michael, Michael. Archangel Michael, we ask you here today in the Shaman's Tea to lend us your strength, your courage. Help us to cut away any of those things that no longer serve our highest good, that we may deliver these messages, that we may be here in sacred space with such divine wisdom. And for this, we are so grateful, grateful, grateful. Aho. To the winds of the north, we're calling on the ancient ones, the ancestors, you who have gone before us and you who are yet to come. We call on you to come in to the Shaman's Tea. Come sip some tea with us, my loves. Come whisper to us the medicine that is for our highest good. Yes, yes, yes. For this, we are so grateful. And in the north, we are calling on Serikante hummingbird, that sweet, sweet royal hummingbird, to help us fly this mythic journey, lift us up out of the mundane, that we may be in that magical space of love and light and sweetness. Let us source that nectar that nourishes the soul. And for this, we are so grateful. And so it is. Aho. In the east gate, to the winds of the east, we call on Apuchin, Apuchin, great eagle and condor. We call on those grand winged ones to lift us up and help us to fly wing and wing with great spirit. Help us to see that bigger picture. Help us to see that beauty, the beauty way of all that is. And for this, we are so grateful. And in that east direction, we are calling on that beautiful energy of Melchizedek, Melchizedek, Melchizedek. We feel you, we sense you. We are asking you to bring that vibratory new way in, that new trajectory, that new way of being in that sacred, sacred space, in sacred geometry, in sacred vibrations. Bring those new trajectories in, those new vibrations in, that we may feel them all the way down into the meat suit, into the very mitochondria of our cells, feeding the energies with such clarity, with such joy, with such love. And for this, we are so grateful. Oh. Pachamama, 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 sweet Mother Earth. We are here today for you, my love. We are here today for healing of all your relations, for the medicine that we receive today becomes the ripple effect, touching the lives of all beings. We are here today for the winged, the furred, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawlers, all your relations, Pachamama. We thank you for your bounty, for your blessings. We are so, so grateful. Aho. Meow. Titai tai. Wonkin tonkin. Great spirit that moves through all things. We call on Grandmother Moon and Grandfather Sun. We call on the great star nations, our galactic family. We call on you who is the eternal Tao, the all that is, the infinite blessings of blessings. We ask you all to come and shine your light. Yes, all of our guides, all of the wisdom keepers who are for our highest good. Yes, we ask you all, shine your light in our hearts today. Shine your lights in our medicine space, in our beautiful Shamans Tea, that we may all sing and dance the song of life with such joy. Aho. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Feels good. I love that. I love the palpable difference and how it feels opening sacred space versus, just living our life in the mundane.
Yep.
That intention makes all the difference in the world, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you today, lovely? What's on your heart?
Love's just good. Life's good,
Yeah, it is.
Planting time, lots of pollen outside. Outside, it's like a cloud. It's just tree love everywhere you step outside.
Yeah, my eyes have been watering and watering, and my throat's yeah, bloom over here as well. So planting those seeds, huh? Planting seeds. It's such a metaphor, right? Planting the seeds and nourishing our soul, nourishing our body. And It's such a good thing. And here we are, coming, we just came out of this Aries new moon. Wow. Fired up.
Yeah, it's a powerful one. It's one.
Dude, I'm going to tell you guys, kick my booty. And I don't say that very often. Yeah. And it's so beautiful because we're in this. Last week we were talking about, segueing into this death and dying and being conscious about death and dying. And, with this new moon, I don't know if you guys were feeling this, but it's like, got to get it done. Whatever it is that is not serving you, fire it up and get her done. Like we don't have time to play around here. We gotta get those pieces cleared out. Emotional garbage, what needs to die, right? We're not just talking about the physical death too, we're talking about that energetic death, that things that need to be cleared, that need to die away in our lives. And if you haven't sat with that, we're just out, depending on what tradition. I know that in the Irish tradition, we have 6 days on either end coming into the full or new moon, and 6 days on the other end of, coming out of the full or new moon. So depending upon your tradition, it's never too, in other words, it's never too late.
Yeah.
Get her done.
Get her done. Yeah. What just came to mind for me was the fact that I gave up my beekeeping. I decided, well, I survived my winter with no bees. I'm done. And so I
There you are.
got rid of basically all my equipment and definitely all my tools. And I just had like 2 hives sitting in the garage. And I thought, well, I'm done now and I will get rid of this at some point. Yesterday, I got a call from my neighbor. I've got this massive swarm, come on over. And I thought, but
I'm done.
but I'm done. And it was amazing. I mean, the bees were like, it was weird. It's almost like I had all these tools and the universe came and said, you said goodbye to that way of beekeeping, but you're a different person now. And I caught the swarm it was the easiest swarm. They were so calm and I just tapped them in and had no smoker, no nothing, and took them home and they're like, oh yeah, everything's good. And it was almost like the new me as a beekeeper, the old me said goodbye to beekeeping. It is like a new way of beekeeping that I'm just being led to do. It's interesting.
I love it. I saw that yesterday on your social media and I just chuckled. I was like, she's just been trying to get rid of the bees. She's been trying not to do the beekeeping. And it is. I mean, you are the bee shaman. I mean, everything, your honey is amazing. Your candles are amazing. Your ways with the bees are amazing. So it's so funny that, sometimes, like you say, we have to, clear away the old ways that we do things in order to step into maybe the new or the new and improved or, the next part of our evolution.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry.
You got chair issues today.
I got serious chair issues today.
You gotta be like me and just sit on the floor. I sit on the floor. I sit on my low mat, and although, it might be better on your back.
No, it would, but my computer will not.
No, I mean better for your back to sit in a chair.
Yeah, whatever.
Got to take care of the body,
My massage pillow. I'm sitting on my massive, not meditation pillow actually, which is actually letting me kind of maneuver a little bit better because I like to sit on my feet. And yeah, anyway, too much information.
Oh, not too much. So we're into this second week on what's it like to venture out of the meat suit. Bum, bum, bum. What's it like to not only have a shamanic death, but how do we start training ourselves to find our way home once we leave this meat suit? How do we start tracking and finding out what is beyond? And so, we practice this in so many ways in the shamanic world, giving the death rites, as we were saying, some of those things that no longer serve us, we definitely do death rites for that. Sometimes we'll do death rites when somebody comes to me and everything, and I mean everything, is out of alignment in their life.
Mhm.
Then I find that it's important to do the death rites, that everything needs to die away in order for this person to rebirth. There's other times that I give the death rites where in the mentorship class where people have received their shaman's rights. And so I give the death rites in those classes where we've gone through like all the roles, all the ego, all of that needs to die away so that you can be reborn into your medicine path. No more labels, no more roles in your life. And isn't this really what we, like our path? I know the path of the yogi, the path of the shaman, the path of this enlightenment path is how do we have a gazillion ego deaths so that we can be in that purity, in that space of enlightenment. And I do believe that if we were really true and true and true, all the way down into the places where you don't even know in the back of your heart, you would say, we want this place of enlightenment so that we can have infinity, so that we can live beyond this meat suit, so that we can continue on, our light will continue to go, and that we're not constantly in this karmic cycle, right? Having to come back and repeat, come back, do over, And if we keep practicing it in this lifetime, then when we actually do leave the meat suit, we can find our way and journey beyond, beyond our karmic debt, beyond the same old stuff, and be in that infinite grace, that infinite peace. And it's my belief that we practice this in our lives. This is why plant medicine is so amazing, is that we can create heaven on earth.
Oh.
So here we are.
This is amazing stuff we're talking about. And this is not, we're not talking about what sort of moisturizer to use. Because if that was what we're talking about, that this is a very, easy conversation. But this is, so much more important that we even consider talking about this so that, we can understand how important it is to think of the bigger picture, to notice that as we come into these meat suits, our memories are white, so that all these amazing information of past lives and who we truly are does not overshadow our experience in here. So we can really learn the lessons that we set for ourselves in this lifetime. And yes, it's, oh, do you want to talk? No, okay, we should probably not talk about that yet. But all right, so
don't leave me hanging. It's a big topic, you guys, and we've been really trying to, sit with how to be in right relationship with you guys in bringing such a huge topic and being responsible for not taking you out on this big ass journey, and you're not protected, and maybe you're not in that space. So we're really kind of trying to navigate this for you, with you, about you, so that we are, number one, in integrity and safe and clear with the intentions as to the what's and the whys of why we are wanting to help you in this way. And if we did not talk about death on the Shamans Tea, what the heck? You know, I mean, the Shamans Tea. I mean, as we walk this path of shamanism and we explore this path of shamanism, it is, in fact, a gazillion ego deaths. It is constant shadow work. It is constantly, you know, we're never, ever above doing our shadow work, guys, ever. You know, I don't care how much of a freaking guru you think you are, or I think I am. Let me just own it, because I don't ever say that. You know, I don't think of myself in that way. In fact, I think of myself as, you know, someone who has a little bit of experience that I can pass on the wisdom. And, you know, as much as I feel like, you know, like, why do I have to do that? You know, why me? You know, it's spirit constantly going, okay, you know, share. We have to share the wisdom. So, and I think it's really important to know that nobody in this meat suit on this earth is above doing their shadow work. And I think that in that shadow work, there comes death and the realization of death. Not only your ego deaths and the deaths of all the little things that we have to, you know, clear away, but also the physical death.
Right. So basically what today is about is we're all sitting in high school and it's our last year. And the head of the school is saying, now on graduation day, this is what's going to happen on graduation day. And let's talk a little bit about after you've graduated, to just sort of give you a feel for it so you're not scared or nervous. And so today is a little bit of that. We're going to talk a little bit about how prepared are you. And so in order to be prepared is we're going to talk a little bit about protection, because we want you to feel completely safe. And one of the first things that you need to pay attention to, and that's whether we're doing this or not, is that this meat suit is an amazing tool that you need to focus on and pay attention to. And that's one of the reasons why it's so important for us to be well hydrated, because that helps a lot. And eating light and eating lots of healthy organic vegetables and juices and fruits, because our bodies will pick up on stuff that we need to pay attention to. And when we are paying attention to what our bodies are feeling, we're not going to get ourselves into trouble. So one of the first things we were going to do is, when we start working and you feel uncomfortable in your body, you listen to your body. You do not listen to us. And you can turn around anytime, and it's safe always to come back to your body. But you have to be your own wise teacher. And so you're like, listen to your body. That's the first thing I'm going to say.
And if you have not had water yet today, please go and stop right now what you're doing and go get your water and hydrate. I think it's really important. And what Mia is saying is, like, number one, in you know, we're going through some really good ways for you to protect yourself, and knowing that, you know, you are in tune with your body is number one.
Oh. All right, now that you've paused and we're all back.
Got your water? Got your water? Got your water?
water.
All right, so I've been pulling cards as you've been chatting. And one of the first cards that came out was trust and faith.
Mm.
And so you know
Amen.
that we opened up sacred space today and we laid down, we called in, we asked for guidance, help, you know. So if you have any guides that you work with, that you specifically want to call in today, let's do that now. Trust and faith. Trust, I think, I've done a lot of journey, guys, around trust. I was the antithesis of non-trusting person.
Mm.
Yeah. In fact, when I went for my apprenticeship to the jungle, before I was accepted into apprenticeship with Enrique, I received a visit from him energetically. He came in as a big white owl, sat down on my bed, and he said, the thing that stops you from being in apprenticeship and coming to the jungle is your trust issues. And it's specifically with the masculine energy. I was like, you're right. So right. Hands down. I mean, I don't deny that, you know, true that. Said, I can help you with that. And what I learned in my apprenticeship, and I was doing a dieta with a plant spirit called Chuachaki. Chuachaki is a beautiful protector of the forest. And Chuachaki showed me, told me, mostly showed me that trust is never about anybody else. Trust is about you. Can you trust yourself? Can you trust your instincts? Can you trust your discernment? Can you trust that you're going to get yourself out of a funky ass situation?
Yeah.
And part of that goes back to the body, right? You know, feeling what you feel in the body. And if you are not in a position where you're, you know, if you're, you know, got a lot of toxins on board, it's going to be hard for you to know that intuitive feeling of what's going on, that gut feeling, that feeling of like, oh, wait, this isn't. So trust is really interesting in that way, is that if you can trust yourself to know, oh, this isn't feeling right, stop. The universal command of no, no, right? Know that. Do that to somebody that's in a boundary violation and see what happens. Right?
The card that I just pulled.
The earth is your mother. You must take care of her. The earth is your mother.
This is one of the things that we also have to remember is like staying grounded, especially when we do this journey work. Really staying grounded. And it, yeah. So there's the trust.
Grounding techniques that we can walk you through. One is, well, first of all, remember when I asked you guys to drop into your heart space? So when we are in our heart space, that boom, 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 that sends out an electromagnetic field that connects you to the electromagnetic field to the earth. So sometimes just as simple as connecting with your heartbeat and knowing that you are in that electrical charge grounding you is your heart with the earth. So that's one. Just walking barefoot is a great technique. Grounding mats, they're great. What else is what are some other grounding techniques, Mia?
I love the visualization. I mean, basically, the moment I sit down to meditate, the first thing I do is sending my root down from my first chakra my base of my spine into the earth. Sometimes I like to send it to the center of the earth and then go around the center of the earth and kind of hug her there, and then focusing back again my energy up. So that centering is, I think, for me, when I'm meditating, or whether I'm tracking, or whether I am traveling outside of with my body, out of my body, it's those are
Gotta have that tether.
Gotta have that tether. And of course, then knowing, while we're talking about tethers, that there's always a cord between our, it's about just below our heart and our navel, where we are attached, our soul attached to our bodies. And so as we travel outside of our bodies, that cord is always connecting us with our body. And so it's always, we are connected to our bodies. And that's, just knowing that we are not floating freely out there when we're traveling, that we are connected.
Yeah,
That's not
and
enough.
we talk about these cords, these tethers, these lines, and I know that as I've studied with the shamans in the Andes, and part of that tradition, as you guys know, we've made despacho on the Shamans Tea, and in that tradition, there's typically a red ribbon that is placed in the despacho, and that red ribbon is a representation of how that, we walk that good red road here on earth in this meat suit. But we also put in that silver ribbon that is representation of that cord, of how we are going to navigate out into the ethers, into the space beyond time and place, in that sacred space when we are journeying. And so we know that we have this cord, as Mia was saying, that represents the way beyond death. It is the road beyond death. And so as we are traveling outside of our meat suit energetically, and we are going on journeys, we have this beautiful road that we can navigate, the silver road that is beyond death.
Oh.
Yeah. The card that oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go for it.
The magical shapeshifter.
The
magical shapeshifter, look at, he's like creating his reality. He's in the blindfold, which indicates, we don't know when we're traveling, when we're going on journey like this, and we're traveling outside of this time and space, we are that magical, we are the shapeshifters. We can change the destiny lines. We can, this is why we go tracking out, right? This is what, as a part of our process of evolution, and that we can travel into the unknown, into that magical space, and create the map that we want. So that's more of that metaphysical death, right? Where we're dying in the ego, where we're letting go of anger, resentment, grief, all of these things. That part needs to die away, because we're shifting into a higher consciousness of that compassion, that pure bliss love, that space that is, that we want to anchor in here into this worldly time.
Oh, yeah.
Field of Dreams was the card that came with it. Look at all those eggs that are waiting to be hatched, and all the fairies coming out attending the eggs. It's so sweet. The Field of Dreams. So what are you dreaming? What do you dream beyond this time, this place? What do you see as to who you are when you're not in this human body? We're not this human body. We get to drive it around for a little while, which I think is so exciting.
Yes, yes. And so I really look forward to being a particle of light, and zooming around this universe and into other universes and exploring and not being tethered by this meat suit. My other one is, people talk about God, and that word is so limiting for me because it's kind of like everything that the Bible and religions want to teach you. And so if I was to switch out of a gender name, I like to think more like source. I like the idea of returning to source and really just kind of bathing in that source energy of pure love and light and just biding there. So this morning when I woke up, I decided, off. Not ready for the day yet. And I went to source and I was biding there. And I think the closest I can come to explaining it would be kind of being in utero, floating in this sack of umbilical fluid and, just be completely taken care of and loved. And there's no baggage, there's no ego, there's no attachments. It's just biding in love. And so for me, part of this journey is this, it can be so easy to just say, before I start my day, I want to abide in source energy. And that's something that's accessible to anybody, I think, who's interested in doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the trick is how to take it into the mundane and live and be source energy.
Oh, yeah.
So we invited you guys to write up your eulogy last week. And if you did, or if you're going to for next week's journey, if you want to send them over to us, that would be awesome. I would love to, share your eulogy, share your insights, and yeah, I think it would be beautiful. But this week we want to talk a little bit more about ways to protect. So we have earthing, grounding, making sure you're hydrated, making sure you're taking care of your body so that you can be tuned in to what needs to be, protected, or what is maybe off, that you can feel when things are a little bit off. Mm-hmm. We've been through a lot of training, Mia and I, and we have a lot of experience in tracking. And what we mean by that is kind of seeing where people are emotionally, physically, spiritually, understanding where they are in their worlds, and seeing, not only where they've come from, but what are the possibilities in the future,
Mm-hmm.
And part of that training has been, I know for me, years of many different teachers giving us tools for how to navigate and be protected in our safe space. So we wanted to come on and give you some of those tools so that, you can be practicing them throughout the week, getting into that space, so that when we do this grand journey and move out, Maybe next week. Yeah. Is that what we decided? That we may do a little bit of a journey next week and track out and see if we can get you guys out of your physical body, let your energy body float a little bit and go into the place in the back of the sun and practice a little bit. Maybe we'll do some journeying in that way.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Just before we talk about that, I want also people to know that everybody has spirit guides, whether you know who they are or not. And you can always just call on them, even if you don't know their names. Also knowing that the angelic realm is always available for you. So when you were doing the directions, the 4 directions, you called on those angelic guides, and to just really familiarize yourself with the archangels. And if you have a personal angel, you can call on your personal angel, but they're always there also. And you can have one in front of you, one and two next to you, one behind you. And you can also call on Archangel Metatron to be above you. And you don't, not just when you're traveling or preparing to travel, and just about every day they are willing to be there for you.
The other thing too is that you can put a bubble around it. I'm calling in my own personal ancestors who are here for my highest good only. Benevolence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really putting that little criteria on. Yeah, we want you to come in, but you gotta be for the highest good.
Right.
You can't, don't be messing around, but yeah, there's lots of other ways too, and some of you guys are familiar with the Merkaba meditation that I teach and share, and that is that violet flame of protection. You can invoke your own personal Merkaba around you, invoke the violet flame of protection, get that sucker spinning around, like there are beautiful ways for you to bring yourself into a way of protection. But I have to go back and say that I think the number one is trusting yourself.
Yeah.
Trusting that trusting that you are going to feel and sense. And if you're, as I like to say, my Kali Ma, right? My Kali comes up, she's that warrior of, kick ass. If that warrior is up and out, there's a reason for it. My instincts have come up and out, and I'm going to check in and go, what's up? You all have that. Every one of us has that. You just got to start tuning in and turning on and feeling it. When things are not right, when, oh, that's not that's not my vibration. That's not my frequency. Thank you, but no. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's no different when we're traveling. It's no different when we're traveling outside in the energy realm.
Uh-huh. So did you want to do a visualization for people in their Merkaba and the violet flame?
We can. It is on a meditation on YouTube. It's
That's
out
right.
there.
That's
It's
right.
out there. We can do that. And it's yeah, we can totally do that. Why not?
And I have never taken people through that visualization, because I just, do it myself quickly every morning, boom. And I don't even know if I have words to like explain how I do that.
Okay, yeah. So all right, let's do that. Ready?
Okay.
So this is a quick little guided meditation that helps you to invoke that Merkaba. And it involves the grounding and the opening so that you're pulling the energies from the earth up and the energies from the cosmos down, and you're becoming that sacred temple that has the groundedness, that has the connection. And then we pull from that energy that mixes and mingles with your sacred energy, and it pulls it out from the core with that breath and intention. And we start with the feminine tetrahedron, which is the base up, pointy side down, coming around your feet. The base comes right around your shoulders, right? And then once that is established, then we go back to the core. We draw that energy out, that sacred mother energy, that sacred sky energy, your energy. We pull it out, blow it out through the core. And this time it is that divine masculine tetrahedron that's superimposed on the feminine, so that the pointy side is up, the base is coming down around your shins. And then we are centered, grounded, open channel in the Merkaba. And then with that poof breath, we ignite it with breath and intention, that violet flame of protection, and we get it spinning. So that's it in a nutshell. And we can walk through it if you guys, if you're feeling like you want to walk through, and experience it.
Yep. Sure. Yep.
Okay. So just dropping in, take a nice deep breath into your heart. That electromagnetic field, connecting you to the Pachamama. And on our next exhale, we're going to send a beam of light coming from the heart down, 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 and bringing your awareness to the bottom of your feet and sending that beam of light down into the Pachamama, deep into the core of the earth. In breath. Gather up that energy from your heart and out breath, beam of light down, 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 out through the bottom of your feet, deep into the core of the earth, taking a few breaths here, establishing that rootedness. Feeling, and as Mia would say, that giving that deep core of the earth, that sacred womb of Pachamama, a big hug. And on our next in-breath, we're going to draw that earth energy up, 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 up through that beam of light and in through the bottom of your feet, and exhale it into your body. In-breath, pull it up. Up, 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 up. Good. And exhale it into your body. Beautiful. And establishing that energy flow, where the Pachamama energy is just now beautifully, consciously flowing into your beautiful body. Really stabilizing that with breath and intention. And feeling that Pachamama energy grounding you. Filling every cell of your body. That electromagnetic field of energy now in every cell of your body. Beautiful. And now grounded, you're bringing your awareness back into your heart space. And this time, from your heart space, shooting that beam of energy up, up, up through the cosmos, connecting through the moon, connecting through the sun, connecting to your sacred star, your sacred planet. Nice in-breath. Gathering up all that heart energy, and out breath, shoo, sending that beam of light up, 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 connecting through the moon, the sun, and into your beautiful home planet, your home star. Into the eternal Tao, the bliss that all that is. Taking a few breaths here, to really establish that connection. And on our next in-breath, we're going to breathe that energy down, 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 and exhale it into the body. In-breath. Draw it all in, let it come down, exhaling it into the body. Shoo. Yes. Beautiful. Establishing that beautiful beam of light. Connected. Grounded. You are the beam of light. As is above, so is below. All through you. Mixing, mingling, alchemizing with your own sacred energy. Pachamama. Father Sky. All within you. And now coming with your awareness to your core, your center. Gathering up that beautiful sacred Pachamama energy. The cosmic energy and your own sacred energy. Just alchemizing it, gathering it all up. You have an infinite supply. And on our next out breath through pinhole lips, we are going to establish that divine feminine tetrahedron around you, the beginnings of your sacred Merkaba. So in breath, gather it all up, and through pinhole lips, blowing out that sacred feminine. Stabilizing it around you, pointy side down, flat side around your shoulders, really establishing that energy. Good, you got it. Super. And bringing that awareness now back to your core. Yes, where that Pachamama energy, that divine sacred energy of the cosmos and your own sacred energy are mixing and mingling. We gather them all up, and through that pinhole lips on our next out breath, establishing that divine masculine, superimposing it on top of the feminine so that we establish the Merkaba. In breath. Gathering it all up, and through pinhole lips, there. Placing it around you, pointy side up around your head. Yes. Your sacred Merkaba, your personal protection bubble. Established around you, you are still centered, grounded, connected. Good. And with breath and intention, we will invoke the violet flame of protection with that poof breath. So in breath and poof, poof, lighting up all points of your Merkaba. Violet flame of protection, feeling, sensing that you have that beautiful violet flame of protection all around you. And with breath and intention, we begin to spin it counterclockwise. In breath and out. Spinning, spinning, spinning counterclockwise. And as it spins, it begins to cut away any old energetic ties, cords, purifying the space around you, keeping you in that protected energy space. And it begins to spin now in any direction that it needs to in order to complete that purifying process. And slowly comes to a stop. Grounded, connected, centered, and protected. Ready to go. How's that feel?
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're going.
And so you guys, whenever I am in ceremony and serving the plant medicine, after the ceremony, after the tea is served, I do this very same thing and putting everybody in their little protective bubbles so that I know everybody is safe and in their sacred bubble, ready to go. So it's a beautiful thing. So try it, move it, shake it, get in that, protective mode. This is a great way to end your night. And you can take a few breaths in clearing breaths and sending any dense energy that you have accumulated throughout the day down to the earth, right? You can bring that light energy in, breathing it into the meat suit. At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, anytime throughout the day. It's a great, and once you practice it enough, it's like you were saying, Mia, you just boop, boop, it's done. Boop, boop, just boop, I'm in my
And
body.
you don't have to worry about packing anything, and worry if your trunk is big enough, to get all your stuff in there. And you just, there I go.
It's so true. And just to take that a little step further in understanding is that this is considered the chariot. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. It's right on my altar. I keep this. So there is your Merkaba, and the card is actually the Chariot of Ascension. And so generally on that third night, if we're really feeling spicy and ready to roll, we'll get that top part of the tetrahedron turning to the right, the left part, the feminine, turning to the left, so that it actually condenses down and becomes that chariot in which we can journey. Pretty cool.
And you want to talk a little bit about the sound it makes?
What sound do you think it makes?
It's just, I can't quite make it, but it's definitely like a clickety. It's
like
pretty fast.
Like a little crackle.
Yeah.
Like what you would, to me, it is the sound of like frequencies coming together. When we're, you got it. So practice that. That's a good way of shielding yourself. And I mean, this is also out, just in general, put it on, away I go.
Yeah, I love how when my Merkaba is installed, how really nothing can trigger me. It's just like negativity. It's just like, what, it's out there somewhere. It doesn't mean I don't feel compassion, but I do not have any.
I always feel like it's like a translucent bubble, like when you blow bubbles, how it's like that kind of slippery, and that things just kind of slide on off, just whoop, they can't stick to it.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, thinking other ways that, you know, you can be in protection as you are journeying, I want to say that intention is huge. Be clear about if you are going to journey out, you know, of your meat suit and beyond. You need to know where you're going, the what's and the whys. Why are you going? What's your intention? What are you hoping to gain? You know, what is it that, you know, what is the intention? And intention is huge with everything that we do. You know, everything that we do, intention is a game changer. You know, are you living your life in intention? If our intention is to go to the place in the back of the sun and practice getting out of the meat suit so that we can find our way home, that's a big intention. We're not just willy-nilly out there traveling, because that's what gets you in trouble. This is where the dabblers get in trouble, I think. Don't you think, Mia?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The dabblers get in trouble and lose their way. And, you know, there's a lot of sorcery that is out there, guys, and not to play into fear or any of that stuff. Brujos are real. People who are lost in the Bardo plains, trying to find their way back, can jump into your energy field, and before you know it, you know, your life, you're living another person's life, and you just like, what the hell has happened? You know, I see this a lot with people who, like, I worked with a client who said her dad passed away, and since then she was the classic, right? The classic that she had taken on the energy of her dad, gained the weight, started liking things that she never liked before, cravings for foods, all these classic signs that she was not herself, that she had taken on an entity, another being.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, when you're out there dabbling, you want to be really clear about where you're going, what you're doing, why you're doing it, how to get there, and how to come back.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to argue with me here.
I'm not in an argumentative mood.
What I'm finding is, like, I don't really travel, you know, almost the way I would travel in a 3D world. You know, you go onto these side roads that takes you to this highway, that takes you to that highway, that takes you to that side road, that takes you to your destination. And if I want to travel to Sirius B, I set my intention for, I'm going to Sirius B now, and boom, I am there. I don't do I'm going to go up the tree now, and I'm going to go out the branches, and then I'm going to go to the sun, and then I'm going to go through the back, and then I'm going to go to the moon. And I don't do that anymore. That's where I'm going. Boom, there I am.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a master.
Oh, thank you.
A master. With years and years of practice, you can get there. It's just like what I said, you know, when I'm going out, I put, boop, my Merkabas on. But it takes practice. It takes practice. You need to have that foundation laid. And so, yeah, some of us can get there right away, boom. And some of us need that. I got to go up the tree and out the branch and in the field and all that.
But that's intention. You just said it.
It's intention.
That's just what it is.
Well, it's also practice. I think that we need the steps. Sometimes we need those steps to get there. Okay. And maybe some of you guys don't have this practice. And so it can be baby steps. It can be, let me just practice putting the Merkaba around me so that, I am safe when I journey.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So this card that just came up was rattle. So Mia, talk to us about rattling and journeying.
So with when you take a look at regular pictures of almost stereotypical pictures of shamans, they always have a drum that they bang, 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 bang.
Right?
Say again?
Can you see my drum? Can you see my drum in the background?
Yeah, yeah. And so that drum is your vehicle. It's your psychopomp that you drive your consciousness into that brain waves that takes you where you need to do. However, in our tradition, in any case, having that drum, in fact, I sometimes find having this drum is like, it's a rattle. It's just a small drum. And in the process that we're working with a rattle, of course, we can also manage a crystal and do other activities. So it frees up one of our hands, but it is that quintessential tool of the shaman that helps us drive, our consciousness and our brain waves, the way we train our brain waves to travel where we need to be into that how would you put that?
Trance state of being.
Yeah.
Yep. The rhythm gets you into the trance state of being and starts to show you and the roads in which you need to travel. It's the rhythm that gets us into that space. Rhythm and breath work are usually the tools to get out. As far as protection, your rattle can be, clearing your energy space around you, right? Breaking up the dense energies around you, or clearing out the dense energies in the physical body so that you're light enough to actually travel. Pack light.
My truck is so big.
My Chariot has a hot tub in the back of it. My Merkaba.
My Chariot is a bookshelf full of oracle cards.
In the back of my Merkaba is a hot tub, y'all. Mia's got the bookshelf. I got the hot tub. We'll read in the hot tub when we get there. I love it.
And if you get a Serious B, pack your scuba gear.
Oh, pack the scuba gear. Serious B is water everywhere. And it's interesting because I'm a quadruple Capricorn and I have 7% water in my chart, yet, I'm surrounded by water. I really thrive around the water,
I think it was our most recent incarnation was on Sirius B, and we
totally.
just,
Yeah, that's where I came last from, for sure. Yeah.
We're still.
How about you guys? Where did you come from? What planet did you come from originally?
Sirius B. Well, originally Source. I mean, we're all coming from Source, and all the different planets are all our different classrooms. And I think when we talk about our favorite planet, I think we're talking about the one that we have most recent maybe memories of, or most vital, potent memories, because we come from all these planets, but we're all from Source.
Exactly. So I pulled another card. This one is so funny. It's just it's just stuck in my hand. It doesn't want to come out. And this is from the past life deck. So I thought it was appropriate since we were talking about Sirius B. Well, it says leaving or travel. So we're going on a journey. We're going on a journey. Yeah. When we leave this this place, where we headed. And you know, the thing that I think is so interesting is like for those of us who have understood karma and you know this idea that we come back into this, you know, we make an agreement, we have a contract. Yes, I'm going to come back. Yes, I'm going to, you know, be in service in this way. Yes, I'm going to learn these lessons. All of this, that we've had this agreement that we're going to do this, is that there is yet another belief system that says that karmic system is an old way. That's part of the old paradigm. We're not going to subscribe to that anymore. In fact, that light that everybody is attracted to, right? When we die and have those near-death experiences, that many people say that that light is actually a synthetic light that keeps us, wanting us to keep, that it's part of the reptilian energy that wants to keep us in samsara and keep us coming back on this earthly body so that we can continue to be used and abused. And that there is yet another very organic way for us to travel out and become source. And that light, and I keep saying going to the place in the back of the sun, because that's where I have been downloaded and that's where I've seen and that's what I've been shown, is that, you know, we want to travel out through that space. That's our gateway, boop, back to source. That's our gateway back to our authentic light and that beautiful oneness, and tracking out of this other karmic story that is old paradigm and old way of being. So food for thought for you guys. Can you imagine? Food for thought on the shaman's tea?
I'm going to throw an extra pebble in that pond.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to say that coming back into carnation, into, and I don't mean necessarily on even on the earth, whether on different planets. For me, I love learning. I can't imagine stop learning. And when I return to source, it'll be bliss, but I'm not learning anything there. So I think I like the idea of clearing karma and working in this life as hard as possible to clear any karma with anybody, which is why I'm doing a lot of cleansing with the Ho'oponopono breath. See, my nose is itching like crazy here. I need to keep following this vein. This is listening to my body. My spirit is saying, pay attention. This is where we go. So doing as much work in this lifetime to clear as much karma as possible. And so really doing our work and doing our shadow work and finding out where we get stuck and almost like consciously releasing that and honoring it and moving on and forgiving and forgiving and forgiving and forgiving ourselves and learning to love ourselves. And this process of working and doing the ego deaths and the ego deaths and the ego deaths and burning up. And so now, boom, I graduate. And so I go and abide with source a little bit, but then I'm going to go, dang it, you know, I learned so many amazing things. I think I'm ready to go and explore a universe where the physics are completely different. Maybe the planets are all cube shaped. You know?
Right. I can exist, you know, in hydrogen, or, you know, that we can exist, you know, like the fact that sun isn't really hot, that we could maybe live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
I feel you on that.
form. I'm coming and appearing in little orb shape, my kids. Love you.
Have a nice day at school. Orb school. Yeah, you know, it's so true. I remember like having that thought and epiphany so many years ago, thinking like, I don't know that I ever really want to become enlightened. I love this school. I love this earth school. I love this meat suit. I love everything about the fact that we get to feel these feels, that we get to have these emotions, that we get to, you know, taste juice.
Yeah.
Chocolate. Make love. I mean, like, what? How cool is
So here we're taking it right back now. We've talked about this meat suit. Oh my goodness, the limitations and going back to the back of the suns. And suddenly we're back in these meat suits and go, but dang, it's nice to be in these
But
meat suits.
dang, shorty, what's a short time period here? You better freaking enjoy it, right? Like, you know, I have been told that this is my culminating life, that I don't have to come back to Earth again. And so that's kind of an interesting, you know, viewpoint. When you think of it like that, it's like, oh man, you know, it's like the person who's just realized that they're going to die in 6 months, you know, let's live it up, let's go, you know, like, whoa, you know, I don't have to come back and be incarnated and do this earth. But then there's the other perspective is, I don't get you. I like it here. I like all these little, I like my ego stuff. I like ice cream. I like passion fruit sorbet, y'all.
Yeah, and I think that there's a line of people waiting to be born into this planet right now, because what we can experience in our meat suits we cannot experience as little particles of light, or
Little orbs of light, right?
yeah, it might be dense and it might be, you know, hard sometimes because of all the emotions that's involved and all the feelings, and but heck, it comes with some amazing perks.
It, it does. And it's really about the mindset and the intention once again, you know, like once we wrap our little pea brains around that idea of like, whoa, I get to do this, you know, like, whoa, this is so exciting. You know, it's like you don't want to waste your time in like complaining and, you know, being down in those, you know, fear mode or all of those things. And they're natural, you know. It's natural to be in fear. It's natural to experience anger. It's natural to experience all the feels, you know. So by all means, I'm not saying, you know, that we don't need to feel those or whatever, you know, it's all a part of it. Yeah. I get to, you know, you guys, oh wait, this side, get to experience, you know, combo treatment, part of my clearing, my my beautiful Aries new moon. Let's get her done. Have you guys experienced combo yet? The frog medicine?
I have not, but I did some clearing on the new moon. I promise you.
So I've got a card here, and this is for there's some specific people who are listening in who need to see this card. You know who you are, you know what this is about. It is Atlantis. You are from Atlantis, and you need to start communing with your kindreds in that way. So Atlantis for you.
Yeah, so that's the Atlantean energy is yeah, don't start me on Atlantis. Okay, next card.
Come on, why not? Left us hanging again, y'all. But beloved, wow, that goes with, where did I see it? It's gone now. That goes with, well, and maybe it doesn't because it's completely gone. I thought it was sitting right up on the top. Maybe it's on the bottom card. Nope.
So this card instantly have me like that dropping into my heart. And to me, this is all about that, what we talked about a little bit in the beginning, is that really loving yourself and loving your body and doing that work because you love yourself and you don't want to continue being in this heavy energy. And so doing the healing work, doing the cleaning up work so you don't cause that carnage for your family and everybody around you. So, you know, as you say, making love to yourself, making love to those, and we're not, you know, really talking about that physical necessarily, but we're talking
But it
about
could be, you
it
know,
could be
it totally could be, but it's more about making love with your life.
Yeah. And for me, what comes to mind is the beauty way.
Every bit of it that comes up, whatever it is that comes up, you know?
The word that comes to mind here is walking the beauty way, the beauty path here.
Yeah. Choosing to shine the light on the shadow stuff, choosing to shine your light on your beautiful heart, choosing to see through the eyes of love the magnificence that is available in every moment. And that magnificence, I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing, guys. I'm talking about finding the magnificence in all of it, in the shadows, in the lights, so finding the magnificence in, you know, your pukey, snotty mess, you know?
Yeah, because it's coming back to that, hey, this is your classroom. And you're learning about this today. Are you going to sweep it under the rug and say, I don't want to deal with this right now. It's too intense for me.
I don't see it. No, I'm just gonna stay here and eat potato chips. I'm just gonna eat potato chips and fine. No, you got things to do. You can't be doing that. I mean, there's always a time, I'm sure, but you know, again, intention. Intention. What is your intention? Yeah. So last weekend, with my combo experience in this new moon, I had said that I was going to write my eulogy, and I was deep in the do, y'all. I was deep in, you know, looking at my stuff, clearing away. And it's funny how, you know, we think one thing, that, oh, I've got to clear out all this, you know, deep, dark stuff. And then it turns out that it's something totally different, you know? And so for me, it was a lot of grief and coming into a lot of congestion in my head and a lot of just grief that I carried around. And I saw like these trees that were just breathing and loving and breathing, the tops of the trees, and just so lovely. And then there was the bulldozer bulldozing down the trees. And I mean, like, I'm carrying this grief on my heart, you know, and it weighs you down. It keeps you down. And you know, I really needed to clear all of that. And during this process, I tried really hard to write my eulogy. I said I would do it. You know, I tried to write it, and I just couldn't get there, and I couldn't get there, and I couldn't get there. And I had to wait for the clearing to really happen. And the clearing came on so many different levels. The physical level, the clarity. I mean, like, I'm seeing everything. The colors are brilliant. Seeing very clearly through my physical eyes. My head is clear. I'm not caught up in my mental ruminations. You know, like, seriously, how many of us can relate to that? You know, we get into the mental, you know, ruminations of stuff, and it can keep you up all night, right? So yeah, clear of that, clear of everything. And then I was able to actually sit and write my eulogy with some clarity. So it was a big time and a really big space. And I'm really grateful that we had this opportunity to bring it to the forefront for me, you know.
Are you ready to read us your eulogy?
I can do that. Yeah. Are you sure? It's I read it to my daughter, and she got a big chuckle out of it. She thought it was truth.
Oh, good.
All right, here it is. She said, by the way, I don't think I would read that at your, especially like the first line. I don't think I'm going to read that at your funeral. It's like, yeah, you will. Okay. Dead, dead, dead and gone. Star Chantir left this earthly place and is adventuring into the long good night. Yet her light lives on. In fact, she leaves a legacy of light behind. For anyone who ever knew or ever met Starr encountered her light. She was a true bringer of the light, and her mission in this lifetime was to shine that light into all those nooks and crannies of the soul. And that she did. For some, she was a shadow worker, others, an illuminary. However way you look at it, Starr was always there to help humanity find their sparkle. Her path was that of the unordinary, perhaps even extraordinary. An adventurous soul, she definitely took the path of less traveled. Some would say that she was a strong warrior. However, Starr would say, we are all just sacred servants to this great mystery, walking each other home. Her gifts were many. She was a master tracker and a divine intuit, helping countless people, but she was most passionate about her connection with the divine. She communed with the plant spirits, and this love showed in every ceremony that she offered. She was a powerful medicine woman who helped many on their journey to wellness, yet she often felt obscure and often found herself asking spirit, why me? That's a truth. She was loud and proud and a giggly soul, yet humble and gracious, with a stern inner mama bear that would serve a can of whoop ass when you need it. She was not your typical PTA mom, but that she was. She loved raising her children and delighted in their blossom. Starr was a gift to this world and to the earth, and the earth will miss her dedication as a steward. Today, Starr transitioned to the great beyond, and her light shines on into infinity. Infinity and beyond.
Oh.
It's hard to do, y'all. It's really hard to do, to talk about yourself, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's awkward, but it was such a beautiful exercise to do. And I teach this in my class, in the mentorship program. I think it's like level 4. They start writing their eulogy because they're getting their death rites and all of that. So I highly recommend it. I think it's a great way to, see yourself and understand a little bit more about what maybe even you want to bring.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a great check-in with yourself, like where you are.
Yeah, totally. Where are you? Where are you headed? What do you need more of? What didn't you do? I mean, it can be super humbling if you're like, damn, I don't have really, that was the thing, what's my legacy?
Yeah.
What is my legacy? Really how to, struggle with that. And it was just like, oh, the legacy of light, for sure.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, so people have their homework for next week. We're gonna work on practicing how to install our Merkabas, and we're gonna invoke our violet flames, and we're gonna write our eulogies. And then next week, we're gonna see what comes up. How are we gonna handle this? Where are we gonna take this? Because we don't like to promise too much, because the spirit moves through us, and we don't quite know what spirit wants us to do here.
That's it. And how, as we opened up and we were saying, it's important for me that we are in integrity and that we are making sure that we are setting you guys up for the best situation possible. And so if you want to ride this magic carpet and go to the great beyond with us and track out a little, come in next week and we'll take the magic carpet ride and go journey, and we'll see how it unfolds. You know, you guys know that this is all spirit led. You know, we're messengers. We're messengers. We're here to, you know, kind of open up a little bit of a gateway of maybe perceptions that you haven't thought about, or maybe some ideas that you haven't really dove into. And so hopefully you find a little golden nugget along the way.
Yeah. And thanks for everybody who subscribed and liked on a more
Oh my gosh, isn't that true? I am so excited about seeing how the Shamans Tea is growing and people are sharing, and I really appreciate you guys sharing and passing along to other people, and it's just nice to be in community with you all. Yeah, it's good. Beautiful. And I love all your comments.
Well, I think we're pushing the
Say
again, you broke up.
Oh,
we're pushing the hour mark. We might have to say our goodbyes. But it was so lovely to hang with you, and
lovely.
Yeah, and then we'll see you guys next week.
Wow, who is it? Voice.
You are here to be known, so speak and be seen. That card just really wanted to come out before we finish up. So, wow. Okay.
That's for you guys. Speak your voice. Your voice needs to be heard. You are important. You matter. You make a difference. Remember that. Remember that.
Look at how powerful she is.
And I love that she's playing the harp.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You know what this means?
Love, what does it mean?
Icaros.
Icaros. I'm actually saving my voice because I'm recording on Friday. Going to the medicine, gonna record. You know, I was gonna record in ceremony last time, and I just realized I could, you know, I had to be there in service to everybody who was in the ceremony. I could not be concentrating on recording. That it was not. No, I'm here to be in service. So I'm just going to go in, take a little facilitator dose, and Sierra Marin of Akasha Records, Sierra Marin Music. She's amazing. She's beautiful. Check her out. She's got music on Spotify. Little plug for our sister. Yeah. So she's producing this beautiful album. So we just decided, yeah, we're going to go in this weekend and
oh, that's so exciting. Awesome.
I know. I hope to sing the most beautiful songs and really honor these plant spirits. That's for sure.
Oh.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in and turning on and drinking some tea with us and sharing sacred space and diving into the world of protection. Practice your Merkaba. Stay in your light. Know that you're loved. Use your voice. We'll see you next week.
Woo!
Thank you, Mia. I love you so much.
I love you, darling.
Yay, team. And